They're running in the All-American Futurity and
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Triple Crown Report, brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency. I'm Tim Keithley, along with Hall of Fame broadcaster Tom Dawson, ready to take you through a fantastic opening weekend, Tom.
Oh man, we had a little bit of everything, Tim, this weekend. Of course, these Ruidoso Futurity Trials, 50% of them were first-time starters, and that makes it tricky. But all of a sudden, one will pop up and do something special, and you think, "Whoa, we got us a runner here."
Tell you all about it. The Triple Crown Report is brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Granada Farms, the AQHA, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Kiss My Hawks, Speed Horse Magazine, and Rolling Still Vodka and Ponderosa Whiskey. We'll tell you all about what happened for opening weekend when the Triple Crown Report returns.
The American Quarter Horse. They represent a new year, new opportunities, and exciting expectations to be winners. For over 30 years, Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency has insured American quarter horses that include champions and their bloodlines. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency knows that your horse represents a large investment. Ensuring that investment will be the least overall expense an owner has in protecting that investment, whether it's a new foal, a new purchase, or a special runner. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency offers prospective full coverage to protect your investment from the very beginning, while in utero and when your foals are born. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency can insure them at 24 hours of age. Their family has made supporting the American Quarter Horse a priority. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency is proud to be a Triple Crown Report sponsor. Visit their website at jonesbloodstockinsurance.com for more information.
For more than 56 years, Speed Horse Magazine has been the trusted source for quarter horse racing news. Our monthly coverage gives insight to current events and racing of quarter horses, paints, and Appaloosas. The annual Speed Horse Stallion Register is an exclusive reference for pedigrees and industry-leading statistics available prior to breeding season. Our print and digital formats will keep you informed and connected. Speed Horse Magazine. We deliver the information that drives the industry.
New Mexico offers year-round racing for both quarter horses and thoroughbreds. $60 million are paid out to New Mexico breds annually, highlighted by Albuquerque's $1.2 million Futurity.
KJ Bad Moon Rising Layer Cake, here's the wire very close.
Your chance to own the next New Mexico bred millionaire awaits. Buy at the New Mexico Bred Sale and the Ruidoso Select Sale. The smart money says New Mexico is the place to race.
Back to the Triple Crown Report. Let's focus on the $1 million Ruidoso Futurity, and Javier Rodriguez and La Feliz Montaña had a great weekend.
Well, they had a lot of horses in, a lot of nice horses that they both bred and bought. None nicer than Political Twist.
Let's take a look at the list that qualified on Friday, Tom, starting with Political Twist, a Political Valor. John Steinbaugh trains Just Cartel Blue, and then there were AJ Remember Me, Famous and Relentless. A great story behind that one.
Yeah, he paid the $30,000 supplement to get in, was in the third race, had to hang on all day to find out if he could make the finals, and he did.
A return of investment
yes,
to make the final. Let's show Political Twist, Tom. fastest qualifier.
All right, here he is in the 10 hole, and that's the same spot he occupied in the West Texas Futurity, so he knows how to handle it. Sometimes you worry about 2-year-olds making mistakes out there, but this guy's a pro. He goes right down the racetrack. He'll come in just a little bit, but basically maintains a straight course and a very, very fast time, Tim. He out-qualified the field by nearly 2 lengths.
I visited with the co-owner of Political Twist, Javier Rodriguez, in the winner's circle.
Political Twist, a little bit of a bobble coming out of the gate, Javier.
Yeah, it was kind of concerning, you know, with the wind, mistakes like that. It's hard to qualify, but you know, he's a racehorse.
1762 looks pretty good.
I think so. Hopefully we can stay there.
I mean, this horse has done nothing wrong other than that quick little bobble.
No, he's so easy to train. He's just a pro. It's just that those racehorses, that's the way they are, you know. It's a blessing to have him.
Javier was very excited, and I really like that whole team from La Feliz, Montana. It's a great family operation, and they've got a winner of the West Texas, and now undefeated going into the final. And I know Clint Crawford was happy on Friday.
Yeah, Clint had a little dry spell here on the mountain qualifying for a big one, but he got Apolitical Valor in the race now.
Let's take a look at this one, another fast racehorse.
And he's in post position number 8. Interestingly enough, this horse, this was making his 4th lifetime start on a day when 50% were first-time starters and 1 or 2 starts for the rest of them. Clint said it took Apolitical Valor that many starts to figure out the game. Every time he ran him, he ran a little better, but he didn't think he was quite there. So he had a start in April in a stake at Remington Park. Tuned him up for this. Looks like Clint was right on the money.
He thinks that this horse is all 440.
Clint, you had a winner in the bag, Apolitical Valor. Tell us about this horse.
He's done really well all through the spring for us. You know, we gave him a couple outs there just to prep him for this race here, and it worked out. He drawed good. He got away clean today, and then he opened up and gave us that gear down there on the end that we've been looking for.
He looks like a 440.
It looks like it to me. You know, I've been touting him a little bit all year, but I've been trying to not tout him too much. You know, so hopefully we'll get lucky and stay in this deal here. So we'll see how we do.
Big fan of Clint Crawford, who races all across the country, and glad to see he has success.
Yeah, very, very nice. You know, sometimes it just takes a while. Trainers go through spells where the horses they get just aren't quite that good. Maybe they have bad luck and just can't get there, but he's in there now with a nice horse.
That is a very fast racehorse that qualified on Friday. Let's turn our attention to Saturday's qualifiers. Top time was D favorite Tasha.
You know, I think I could have given you 500 chances to pick the first 2 qualifiers on Saturday, and you would not have come up with D favorite Tasha and Russ Gus.
Praying and Sinning was one of the favorites.
Figures.
And then jockey Ricky Ramirez and the Wood Barn, Trey Wood Barn, qualifies 2 fillies, Allegiant Air and Loretta.
Both had stakes experience, both figured strongly.
Let's take a look at the fastest qualifier here in D favorite Tasha, Tom.
Well, we talked about Clint Crawford's horse having 4 starts, or this being his 4th start. Let's take a look at D favorite Tasha here, post position number 4. This would be his career debut, so it's totally the other end of the spectrum. Had a couple of nice works, didn't bring a lot of money, but his sire is really doing well. Dulce Santasha, leading freshman sire, just doing terrific. And this horse put up a very fast time early in the day, and we thought, well, there's going to be a lot more of those. Well, there weren't.
We spoke with the trainer and owner of the fastest qualifier, Rick Armendariz Jr.
Yeah, so I acquired D at the Ruidoso Select sale, and shortly after that, I sold half of the horse here at Pineda. And I'll tell you what, ever since day one, the horse has been showing his talent. You know, he showed us he's a real deal. And of course, you really don't know what exactly you got because you just put up against horses in your farm. But we felt we got some contenders over there, and the horse he. Every time we put him in the gate, every time we work out, he goes out there and he does his job. So, we really felt coming over here, we had the horse, and I'll tell you what, it feels really good to know that, You know what I mean? That what we thought we had is what we got.
Tom Rick is an up-and-coming trainer. He seems like he's qualifying a lot. We're seeing his name on a lot of these lists lately.
Well, that's good. I mean, he was here a few years ago, went other places, came back, and looks like this time he's brought the right stock.
And then the last trial of the day on Saturday featured Russ Gus. Who's Russ? Who's Gus?
I don't know, but we thought it featured the one horse Entice Me on a Monday, who was a supplement to this futurity. But as you'll see, the action took place on the outside with Russ Gus. Now, the one horse Entice Me on a Monday broke okay, and actually I was standing there with both trainers, and it looked like the one horse was going to do just fine. Meanwhile, on the outside, here comes that first-time starter, Apolitical Jess, Russ Gus, and old Russ just runs right on by everybody to set a second fastest time of the day, right? And Xavier Rodriguez, the trainer, told me, he said, we kind of thought he was one of our better ones, But you hate to say because you got so many in, and but he was one of their better ones.
Talk about upsetting the apple cart.
Yeah.
There you go, the lineup for the $1 million Ruidoso Futurity to be run back on Sunday, June the 8th. When we come back, we'll tell you all about the Rioso Derby trials when the Triple Crown report returns.
The first foals by Grade 1 Stakes winner Cyber Attack are yearlings of 2025. Cyber Attack is a son of Favorite Cartel from the multiple millionaire producer Remember Me Rose. He was named AQHA champion at both 2 and 3. Granada Farms also stands graded stakes winner This Is an Eagle. The son of one famous eagle averages 76% winners from starters. For more, contact Coy Dolan at Granada Farms.
Kavanaugh Quarter Horses is proud to own AQHA champion Uncle D. Last year's leading freshman sire is now sired over $1.3 million in earnings. The $50,000 smart money incentive for Uncle D foals who are Grade 1 winners has been extended through 2026. Now, Grade 2 and 3 winners are eligible for $25,000. Plus, he remains a Ruby Buckle stallion. Difference maker Uncle D, standing at Lazy E Ranch.
Kiss My Hawks is a two-time AQHA racing champion and multiple G1 winner of more than $1.1 million. The 2012 Sorrel Stallion is by Tempting Dash out of the Trace Sace mare Romancing Mary. Kiss My Hawks progeny have earnings over $13.8 million from just 9 crops per race. He is the only sire in 2024 with 2 earners of $600,000+. Kiss My Hawks, proudly standing at the Lazy E Ranch.
Back to the Triple Crown report. Now we're going to look at the $830,000 Ruidoso Derby, Tom. And here's the list, starting with Electrifying Cowboy.
Yeah, things got pretty quick later in the day. There were a lot of very nice stakes horses in the later races, so it's not surprising some of the fast times came from there.
And you have Stson with G.R. Carter wishing he was aboard. We'll get to that in just a little bit. KJ Born to Be Wild, that's a nice horse.
Right.
And the owner of the racetrack has a qualifier, Cartel Perry, and Johnny Trotter.
They thought he was a nice horse right along, but he'd be a better 3-year-old, and here he is in his first Derby and Ruidoso. He already qualified for a Derby in California.
So there's some home interest to root for. Let's take a look at Electrifying Cowboy on top, Tom.
You talk about a horse living up to his name. He's number 8 there on the outside. Watch him leave there with business on his mind. The 5-horse Relentless American is a multiple stakes winner. And on the inside, we had a Grade 1 winner in Brown Coffey. But halfway down, Electrifying Cowboy does just that. He electrifies everybody. runs off by about 4 lengths. You're not supposed to beat those kind of horses by 4 lengths. I don't care what's going on.
That was
no
most
wonder he wound
impressive.
up on top.
And we spoke in the winner's circle with Marcelino Gonzalez and Ronald Sugamosto, the owners of Electrifying Cowboy.
Time, a lot of great horses today, and you had the fastest?
Yes, sir, so far.
How does that make you feel?
Great.
And you all worked together to get this horse.
Right, it was a partner deal, and God put this thing together.
It was a blessing to get this horse. We looked at him on the catalog on the sale, but he wasn't on the sale, so we had to fly all the way to Paragon Farms. We looked at him. I called Mr. Ron, see if he wanted to partner up, and ever since he's been a blessing to us.
Well, good luck in the final.
We're hoping we get there to win it.
Well, it's always good to be the fastest time, but there are several other major runners, including La Feliz Montana Ranch is back with FDD Dreams.
And FDD Dreams, as we saw last year, is a stone runner. He's in post position 3 here. Watch him leave the gate. A part C's for him. Ain't that nice? Just has plenty of room to run. He won the West Texas Futurity to end his 2-year-old year after being right there in all the majors here in Ruidoso. He is a stone runner. Biggest question with a lot of these was how would they come back in their first start? And the good horses, a lot of them, showed up really well.
I think FDD Dreams has tremendous heart. I think that horse runs with as much heart as speed, and I'm really excited about FDD Dreams. And then jockey GR Carter, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, now owns racehorses, and he put Stson in the gate, Tom.
Well, Stson had run 4th in the Remington Park Derby as we watch his trial here. And he was, a solid, nice kind of horse. This was early in the day or earlier in the day. Times had kind of been, he kind of had an idea as to what things were going to do. And he and the 2-horse Dow came down there ding-donging together, and Stson gets the nod over a proven racehorse in Dow. That puts him in the Derby.
And both qualified, and that's exciting. And I had a chance to visit with GR, pretty excited in the winner's circle.
How does it feel to be in the winner's circle?
Stson and Stellar, baby. It's pretty cool to raise them, watch them grow up, and then to see them succeed. It's almost just as much thrill as riding them.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you in the final.
You bet. We can't wait.
Nobody is more excited about quarter horse racing than GR Carter. I'm a huge fan, and I tell you what, I'm really rooting for GR. He said he'd do a backflip if his horse is in the winner's circle for the Ruidoso.
He better get his back looked at by the old doctor before he decides to do that.
Probably.
Although he's been roping a lot. He ropes, that's his passion.
Oh, yeah, he's still very athletic.
Oh, yeah.
We had a very special guest in the winner's circle this past weekend. It was great to see the governor was here for the opening of our season.
And we got the chance to revisit some of the things we talked about with her last fall in Albuquerque and bring it full circle. The Honorable Michelle Lujan Grisham, welcome to the races. And there was a time we weren't so sure we'd be able to say that.
Well, in fact, you and I spoke when we were hosting temporarily these races in Albuquerque. And look, fires deliver a merciless set of outcomes to any community. This community and this racing institution were hit really hard. And a year later, here we are, and it's incredible. And I'm delighted to see the progress.
As people know, the town itself, the communities were severely affected, and that's ongoing.
It is ongoing, but look, I'm seeing houses being built. I'm seeing a brand new development right out of Ruidoso. Rioso Downs is doing their part. This is a community, I have no doubt, that successfully addresses every loss, but also seizes on every single new opportunity. And in fact, I use this community, Ruidoso, as an example to other natural disasters and communities affected. This is the way to get it done. And it means everybody on the same team, not competing, but frankly, in a town and a state that needs a little more water, all rowing together in the same boat. They've done a really fine job, and I'm really honored to be here to celebrate their successes.
Well, we certainly thank the support that Governor Lujan Grisham has given this racetrack. local, state, federal officials, and everybody was here over the weekend. What a beautiful return to racing this past weekend, and we'll look forward to the finals of the Futurity and the Derby on June 7th and 8th.
That's right, 7th and 8th, and Cowboy Channel will be here on June 8th for an hour-and-a-half live show beginning at 4 o'clock Ruidoso time, 6 Eastern. We'll have the Juvenile and the Futurity live and a full recap of the Derby from the day before.
The Triple Crown Report is brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Granada Farms, the AQHA, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Kiss My Hawks, Speed Horse Magazine, and Rolling Still Vodka and Ponderosa Whiskey. Thanks, Tom.
Very good to be here. I love doing them from the studio.
Well, yeah, we enjoy having you any way we can get you. And we thank everybody for watching the Triple Crown Report. We'll see you next week.